well as what our cash envelopes will be and our sinking funds. So unfortunately, I can't stuff any envelopes today due to the holiday, and my bank actually changed their hours. I was not able to get cash on Friday, and then we have a holiday on Monday, so cash stuffing will be on Tuesday this week. So I want to get a video up, so we're gonna actually go over our budget. And I did talk to my husband, and he's comfortable showing what our pay is and what our actual bills are. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and please feel free to leave any questions you have down below, or any suggestions of new videos or anything like that you'd like to see, let me know. But let's get onto Excel, and I'll show you what we're working with. Okay, so we are here on my budget paycheck spreadsheet. So I'm somewhat familiar with Excel, so I do like to use formulas, but I can always make this into a printable if you guys are interested and would like to have something like this in physically that you can put in your planner. Let me know. I'd be happy to save this probably under Google Docs or something so you can print it. But I prefer to use Excel. I just like having the formulas and everything kind of automated as we go through. So this is what our January 14th paycheck is going to be about. So over here, as you can see, we have a his and hers paycheck, and then anything miscellaneous. So I put miscellaneous in here of things like if we sell something or we do any kind of side hustle. You know, I do make cakes on the side. My husband does some photography on the side. So if we bring in any extra money, that's where the miscellaneous goes. And then I just add a note. Since all the miscellaneous is kind of grouped together, you can always add more lines if you'd rather break out your miscellaneous income streams. For right now, we don't have that many, so we're fine grouping them together. But you can always click on, in Excel, if you're not familiar with Excel, you can always click on a cell, right click, and hit add new note, and then you can actually add a note to your cell. And that's usually what I do for my bills. I will make a note of what the confirmation number is when I pay the bill online, as well as what day I paid it, just so I've had to go back and use that before. A company has asked me to show a confirmation number before, so ever since then I've always made sure that I could provide that information. So let me delete that note. There we go. Okay, so this is what we budgeted to bring in for the second paycheck of January, and so our total was supposed to be around $3,000 was our goal, was the plan, and we ended up bringing in $3,160.81. So that's great. We came in over budget. So that's fantastic. So going down, we're actually going to focus first on our fixed expenses. Oh, so let me explain something. So with our Excel here, so I have a budgeted section and an actual. Again, this is what I think we're going to do, and this is what we're actually end up doing. So I have all my cells worked out to where it's going to show what our income is, which is right here. This 3,000 is what we think we were going to make. And this is the total amount of expenses, which includes cash envelopes and sinking funds. And then this is what the balance would be left if I wanted to use that towards like all debt, or I want to kind of build our buffer in our checking account, so I might use it for that and just leave it in the bank. But ideally, ultimately, that would be a zero balance. And I believe it was at one point when I was working on this, so I'm surprised to see a balance. I'll have to go figure out maybe where that came from. But so ideally, if you're doing the every dollar has a assignment type of thing, then that would be zero, and I would just put debt as a line down here and put the $141.79 that way, which I can do right here. So if we're gonna do $141.79, there you go. So that makes it zero. So our income was 3,000 and our expenses was 3,000. So these numbers are coming up over here. So right now it's showing that our income is $3,160.81. And then as we go through, you'll be able to see all the different expenses that we actually paid for and what our balance is to use for sinking funds and cash envelopes. So if you look over here, you can see under our fixed expenses, these expenses don't ever change. They're very fixed, consistent. So we have a bank transfer that happens automatically with our bank. And then we have our Hyundai Spectrum, which is our internet, and then our home security, and then we have two different medical plans that we're paying for, Apple for storage, and our car insurance. So like I mentioned, I put the confirmation numbers here. If I go online and pay them, some of these are automatic. Obviously you don't need one. And then I do like to highlight them once they've hit the bank, because then I know if I look at my bank account what has come out, what hasn't. I do like to watch everything, make sure there's nothing random going through the bank account. So I should kind of always know how much money should be in there. So I do like to check up on that stuff too. So here you can see that we budgeted for our fixed expenses to be $700.28, and they actually came in 2 cents lower than budget. So that's great. Let's fix that. So that's good. So we got all those bills paid, and then here's our variable expenses. This is our credit cards that the balance or what we owe does change as we pay down, because then you're paying less interest. So the payment is not consistent each month. So we do have those, as well as our energy and water. And then we do have a separate medical bill and car tax. So a lot of times I will throw these random bills in here that we get from like the doctor's office after we've paid our deductible and we have some money to come out of pocket with for, or some of the random bills that's not really in our normal budget, like our vehicle car tax. So one car is due at the end of this month, and then the other car is due at the end of next month. I do have it scheduled for my sinking funds to save for those. That way next year when these come around, we have cash saved for them and we don't have to worry about coming out of pocket in the bank account. So we paid all these, as you can see, and then our total was $899.77. So we came in a little over what we budgeted for in that category. So it looks like our water was a little bit higher. Okay, so as you can see here, our expenses are totaling at the end of each section, and all these together will equal the expenses above. So we have, let me fix this, that's gonna bother me. There you go. So here in groceries, so this is our cash envelopes. So we are looking to see, so we have our income was $3160.81, and then we spent $700 on fixed expenses and $899 on variable expenses. So at that point we can kind of get an idea of where we are with our money and how much money we have left. So here we have our cash envelopes. So for groceries this week, we're going to do $260. We're going to do $70 in our baby fund. That's for his diapers, his medicine, anything he may need. Dining out's $80. Miscellaneous is still $120 for now. Next month is when I start using my sinking funds more. So because our vacation should be paid for at that point. So we will, stick around. We do have an update on our vacation at the end of this video. So definitely check that out. But we still save $120 in miscellaneous just in case we have anything random that comes up. I do have a birthday this month that I need to buy gifts for. So, and then I end up making the cakes for most of these birthdays that I go to because they're in my family, and I'm a chef, so they like for me to make the cakes. So I will start a fund actually for that, just so that those costs for those cakes don't come out of my regular grocery budget. Animals, this is for their food, and then what we want to budget for debt, what we can use to pay for debt, as well as our vacation, what we want to add to our vacation, which is $400 this pay period. And then gas is online. So we'll use probably let me think about this. I think we're going to use our bank card, but we still need a budget for it. But it's not money I'm going to take out, but we still need a budget for it. So I think that was where we were messing up here. Okay, so yeah, it's still zero. There we go. So we're going to budget $100 for gas, but I won't actually take that out of the bank just because it's not very convenient to use cash, we've realized, as well as we like to put in our phone number at the pump so we can get points from like shopping at Harris Teeter or a local grocery store. And so we like to put in our phone numbers so we can get actually cents off of our gas. And I notice I can't do that if I pay cash. So we are just going to stick with using our card. But gas is not something we overspend in anyway, so I'm not concerned about that. $100 is plenty for 2 weeks. So we can put 100 right there for gas because we're going to spend about that. That's what our plan is. So we're at $1,080 for our cash envelopes. And then down here at sinking funds. So this is where you can figure out if you have anything left. So actually, let me show you what these numbers are here. So this is total in our expenses, but that's including these. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete all of these, and I'll show you how this kind of works as I go through here, because normally this would be completely blank. So right now, so here's all of our sinking funds. They're all zeros. So 1,080 in the cash envelope. So ultimately, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around here. So right now our expenses are $2,680.03. So our balance is $480.78. So this is what we have left to use in our sinking funds, or to leave in the bank, or whatever we want to do with it. So if we actually keep to our budget, well, we'll do our sinking funds first, and then whatever's left we'll do in debt. So with health, I do want to add $20. With hair, I do need to add a little bit of money there. My husband gets his hair cut every few weeks, and my son is going to start needing his hair cut more. I've asked my hair girl to just do something that's very easy to maintain, so I'm fine with the way it is. I'm actually really getting into the curly hair method, so I'm okay right now on haircuts and stuff. I don't need that right now. Okay, so for pets, we're going to do $220, and that's because they do have a grooming appointment at the end of this month. We do get them groomed every other month. They just raised their prices. Usually it was around $200. I could get away with 2 dogs and a tip for $200, but now I think they raised their prices recently, so I'm going to budget $220 just to be on the safe side. So that's $280 total in our sinking funds for now. Like I said, the rest of these will start getting stuffed next month or the next paycheck, but this because this paycheck is the last one that I'm going to focus with vacation. So in total, we have expenses is $2,960.03, and that means we have a balance of $278. So I can choose to pay some towards debt, or I can leave it in the bank, whatever I want to do. So maybe, because I just paid the $34.85, and that is the payment for my lowest debt, which I think the balance was $110, and it was a medical bill. So I'm thinking that if I paid the 110, so let's do this, let's do the math here. So I think it was 110, maybe 35, and then we're going to take away 34.85 because I just paid that. So my balance should be 75.50. So we might take away some money here, but spoiler alert, I do have $52 left from miscellaneous that we did not use last week. So by y'all's suggestion, you guys suggested that if I have any rollover money that I should put it towards debt. So I think that's what we're going to do. So we are going to take that $52 and put it towards debt. So we have the $75.50 minus the $52 that I have in cash, leaves us with $23.50 left to pay off that debt. So what we can do is pay off, let's say we're going to pay off that debt. So we're going to pay $24 to, and then that way that will pay off that debt, and then so that leaves us with $176.78. So what I might do is go ahead and leave that in the bank, because I do want to build a little bit of a buffer in our bank. We do keep money in there already, but I would like to build that up a little bit more. We'd like to have a little bit more wiggle room just in case anything happens. So I think I'm gonna leave that in the bank for now. So what I might put is down here, I might say checking account buffer, and we are gonna put it as 176.78. There we go. And so now our balance says 0. So that is what a zero-based budget looks like. That's how it works for us. This is not my original spreadsheet. My original spreadsheet has a lot more colors and numbers going on, so I want to kind of clean that up and kind of give you a snapshot as to what we do. So this is what I will look at each month when I look at the bills. So, you know, there's a few 2 months out of the year maybe that we get multiple paychecks. So I believe this year that is July and December of 2022. Those aren't technically extra paychecks. I think I kind of hit on this in another video, but those paychecks aren't necessarily extra because you're still waiting 2 weeks to get the next check. So if you can go 4 weeks in between the second to last check of the month, which would be technically your normal last check, you have that extra one, and then you wait another 2 weeks to get another one. So technically, if you considered that extra paycheck extra, you'd be going from your normal paycheck 4 weeks later to your next paycheck. and that's a long time. So if you think you can go 4 weeks, that's great. But if not, I definitely recommend looking at the calendar method when you are doing your budget. So right now, that's why January 14th is not necessarily the last paycheck in this month. The first one I had was December 31st. But I couldn't wait until the 14th to start paying bills because technically that's the first paycheck of January. So the next paycheck is maybe the 28th or something like that. So that paycheck I'll use in February. So I definitely recommend looking at the calendar way of doing your bills, and take a look and see what day your pay period falls on and what bills you need to cover in between that pay period and the following pay period. I hope that makes sense. I might do a breakdown of what I would normally do, like when I'm preparing for a budget, before I even touch this Excel, kind of show you what I would do, and so I can prepare as well as look ahead and see if there's any birthdays that I need to make sure I have money set aside for, any doctor's visits that we may need to prepare for, things like that. So I will definitely work on doing something like that as well. But if you guys are interested, let me know. I would love to kind of show you the process that I do, and then how we can kind of wrap up the end of the month and see, really forecast at least for the whole month of February what that looks like, especially now that I won't be spending any more money on vacation. By the way, the update on the vacation, we are not going to Disney anymore. I really want to go to Disney, but just right now with COVID, or the vid going around, we just weren't comfortable putting Mason in that situation. Due to his age, he can't wear a mask, so he has no line of defense in between him and other people. And right now with Disney operating at capacity, I'm just not comfortable with it. I mean, we have a stroller cover I thought about even taking. So we're still going to take a vacation, but we want to check out like the dolphin encounters and the zoo maybe, and a few other things. So if you guys are from Florida and you have great places I should stop, let me know. I'm definitely from South Florida, but it's been a long time, so I'm sure there's a lot of cool things to do nowadays. So, but that's kind of the update on the vacation. We're not going to Disney. We're still going to go on vacation, but I think we're going to cut it a little bit shorter so we don't need as much money, and hopefully it's not as expensive because we're not going to Disney, and Disney's very expensive. So, but I will show you guys where we are at with our vacation fund when we get there, at our cash stuffing in a few days. And then let me know if you guys have any video suggestions. I really, really appreciate you guys watching. And by the way, thank you so much to everybody who's been subscribing to the channel. I can't believe how quickly we're growing. I think we're at like 162 right now subscribers. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate it. It's so exciting to see you guys jump in and leave me a comment and subscribe. And I'm trying to go to all y'all's channels and watch your videos and subscribe too. So I really, really do appreciate you guys. It's definitely becoming more than I've thought it could be. And so I'm super excited. So keep going, guys. Make sure you share your videos. Even at work, I'm telling the girls at work how to budget their money and stuff, but nobody I know knows that I make videos yet. So maybe one day I'll tell them, but right now it's kind of a hush between my husband and I. But so I really, really appreciate you guys watching this video. You guys are amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, let me know down below. If you guys want this document in like a blank form so you can print it or do your own on Excel, let me know. I'll be happy to try and make that available. But thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.